10 shows, millions of viewers, primetime success. And then, gone. Canceled, forgotten, like they never existed. Today we're counting down 10 sci-fi TV shows from the 60s that were incredible, then vanished. The series that defined the 60s, then disappeared from television like they'd been erased from history. Let's dive in.
You see, girls, he's wide awake. It's best to be brutal.
My Favorite Martian, 1963 to 1966. Ray Walston played Uncle Martin, a Martian whose spaceship crashes on Earth. Bill Bixby played the newspaper reporter who takes him in and keeps his secret. It was a sitcom with science fiction elements that ran for 3 seasons and 107 episodes on CBS. The show had real chemistry between Walston and Bixby. Martin had retractable antennae and could become invisible and read minds. The special effects were charming for early 60s television, but My Favorite Martian was caught between 2 audiences and satisfied neither completely. Sci-fi fans wanted more actual science fiction and less domestic comedy. Sitcom fans wanted more jokes and less alien powers. CBS kept it on the air because ratings were decent, but creatively, it ran out of ideas. How many times can a Martian hide from discovery before the premise exhausts itself? The show ended in 1966, while still moderately popular. CBS just decided it had run its course. No finale, no explanation of whether Martin ever got home. It just stopped. Syndication kept it alive through the 70s and 80s as nostalgic comfort viewing. The 1999 movie adaptation with Christopher Lloyd and Jeff Daniels bombed spectacularly, proving some concepts belong in their original era.
All hands, stand by for severe shockwave. Here it comes. What's going on down there?
The controls malfunctioned. I can't explain it.
Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea, 1964 to 1968. Irwin Allen created a submarine adventure series based on his 1961 film. The crew of the Seaview explored the ocean depths, fought monsters, and saved the world every week. It ran for 4 seasons and 110 episodes, the longest-running Irwin Allen science fiction series. Season 1 was serious Cold War submarine drama shot in black and white. Then, ABC pushed Allen to go color and add more fantastical elements. Suddenly, the Seaview was fighting giant octopuses, discovering underwater civilizations, and encountering time travelers. The tone shifted from realistic to completely absurd. Budget cuts became obvious in later seasons. Stock footage got reused constantly. The same cavern set appeared in multiple episodes dressed differently. Special effects that looked decent in Season 2 looked cheap by Season 4. But kids loved the monsters and wild adventures. A BC finally pulled the plug in 1968. The show had run its course. The crew never got a proper send-off. Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea just ended mid-adventure with the Seaview still patrolling the oceans. Syndication kept it alive through the 70s as after-school viewing. It's remembered fondly despite its declining quality because Allen understood that submarine adventures with sea monsters would always entertain kids, even on shrinking budgets.
I am not a number. I am a person.
The Prisoner, 1967 to 1968. Patrick McGoohan created and starred in the most surreal, mind-bending television show of the 60s. A secret agent resigns and wakes up in a mysterious village where everyone has numbers instead of names. He's number 6. They want information. He won't give it, and nothing is what it seems. Only 17 episodes exist because McGoohan designed it that way. This wasn't a cancellation. It was an intentional artistic statement. ITC Entertainment wanted more episodes. McGoohan refused. He told the story he wanted to tell and walked away. The Prisoner was too weird for mainstream audiences. Surreal imagery, philosophical questions about freedom and identity. episodes that felt like fever dreams. The final episode aired and viewers were furious because it answered nothing in traditional ways. McGoohan got death threats from confused fans demanding explanations. But The Prisoner became a massive cult classic through PBS reruns in America. Fans analyzed every frame searching for meaning. The village became an iconic location. "I am not a number, I am a free man," entered pop culture. The show influenced Lost, Twin Peaks, and every mystery series that followed. The Prisoner vanished not because it failed, but because McGoohan completed his vision and refused to compromise. That makes it unique on this list. A show that ended on its own terms in an era when networks controlled everything.
You're one of those little people.
Yes.
Operator.
Operator, I need an ambulance right away.
Land of the Giants, 1968 to 1970. Irwin Allen's most expensive television production. A commercial flight crashes through a space warp and lands on a planet where everything is 12 times larger than Earth. The passengers and crew become tiny people struggling to survive in a giant world. ABC gave Allen a massive budget for 1968. Each episode cost over $250,000. The special effects were genuinely impressive: oversized props, forced perspective shots, miniature actors composited into giant sets. It looked spectacular for television. 2 seasons, 51 episodes. Then ABC looked at the costs and canceled it despite decent ratings. The show was simply too expensive to justify. Budget was astronomical, and stories were becoming repetitive. How many times can tiny people hide from giant cats and avoid getting stepped on? Land of the Giants ended abruptly with the passengers still trapped on the giant planet. No rescue, no explanation of how to get home. The show just stopped. Allen tried pitching other sci-fi series to networks, but after Land of the Giants' costs, nobody would fund his expensive visions. This was his last major science fiction series. The show vanished from cultural memory faster than Allen's other productions, but for 2 years, it delivered impressive visual spectacle that television had never attempted before. ABC couldn't sustain it financially, so it died.
How did he get her? I'm here to take you with me.
Hold your fire!
Time Tunnel, 1966 to 1967. Irwin Allen created a show about 2 scientists trapped in time, jumping through history unable to control where they land. The government project headquarters could see them through the time tunnel, but couldn't bring them back. Every week, a new historical crisis to survive. ABC gave it 1 season, 30 episodes. The premise had massive potential. Explore any time period in history, witness famous events, change small details while maintaining the timeline. But the budget couldn't sustain what the concept needed. Time Tunnel relied heavily on stock footage from old movies. Historical battles used clips from Hollywood films. The same cave set got redressed as different time periods. Viewers noticed. The formula became predictable. Land in dangerous time, barely survive. Jump to next week's danger without resolution. ABC canceled it after 1 season because costs were too high for what they were getting. The show ended with the scientists still lost in time. No rescue, no closure. Tony and Doug jumped into another time period, and the series just stopped. The show deserved more than 30 episodes. The concept could have explored fascinating historical moments and asked interesting questions about causality and destiny. Instead, budget limitations turned it into a repetitive adventure show. Time Tunnel vanished quickly, remembered mostly by Irwin Allen completists and 60s sci-fi fans. The Invaders, 1967 to 1968. David Vincent drives down a country road at night. He sees a flying saucer land. He discovers aliens are infiltrating Earth, disguised as humans. He tries to warn people. Nobody believes him, and the paranoid thriller begins. Quinn Martin produced a genuinely tense science fiction series about alien invasion and the one man trying to stop it. Roy Thinnis played Vincent with increasing desperation as he discovered more aliens but convinced nobody. The aliens looked human but couldn't show emotion and disintegrated when killed, leaving no evidence. ABC gave it 2 seasons and 43 episodes. Then they pulled the plug. The show ended with David Vincent still fighting alone. The invasion was still happening, Earth was still in danger, and viewers never got resolution to whether humanity would survive or succumb to alien replacement. The show vanished from television quickly. Syndication barely kept it alive. Modern viewers discovering it through streaming appreciate what 60s audiences missed: a genuinely tense thriller about trust, paranoia, and invasion that deserved to finish its story. Lost in Space, 1965 to 1968. The Robinson family launched toward Alpha Centauri. Dr. Zachary Smith sabotaged their ship. They crashed on an alien planet and spent 3 seasons trying to get home while Smith caused problems and the robot warned about danger constantly. CBS started the show as serious science fiction drama. The first season was shot in black and white with genuine tension and darker themes. Then network executives looked at Batman's success and demanded Lost in Space become campier and more kid-friendly. Seasons 2 and 3 went full camp. Dr. Smith transformed from dangerous saboteur to bumbling coward. The robot became a comedy sidekick. "Danger, Will Robinson," became a catchphrase. Every episode featured ridiculous aliens in rubber suits and bizarre plots that made no scientific sense. CBS canceled it after 3 seasons and 83 episodes. Budget cuts had made the effects laughable. The show had run out of ideas. The Robinsons never made it home or to Alpha Centauri. The series ended mid-journey with the family still lost in space, exactly where the title promised they'd be. Star Trek, the original series, 1966 to 1969. Gene Roddenberry pitched a wagon train to the stars. NBC gave him 3 seasons. Fans had to fight for every single one of them. And Star Trek became the most influential cancellation in television history. The show premiered in 1966 with serious science fiction concepts, social commentary, an optimistic vision of humanity's future. NBC had no idea what to do with it. Ratings were mediocre. The network almost canceled it after Season 1. Fans launched a massive letter writing campaign. Thousands of letters flooded NBC demanding Star Trek's renewal. The network reluctantly brought it back for Season 2. Then, they moved it to the Friday night death slot for Season 3. Budget got slashed, quality dropped, and NBC canceled it with only 79 episodes. The Outer Limits, 1963 to 1965. There's nothing wrong with your television set. Do not attempt to adjust the picture. We are controlling transmission. The Outer Limits was darker, scarier, and more ambitious than the Twilight Zone, and ABC killed it after 2 seasons. Leslie Stevens created an anthology series focused on science fiction and horror. Each episode featured a different story with different characters. The monsters were genuinely frightening for 60s television. The themes explored humanity's darkest impulses and fears about technology and alien contact. ABC constantly changed the schedule. Viewers couldn't find the show. Budget got slashed in Season 2, forcing cheaper episodes with less impressive effects. Quality dropped. Ratings suffered. ABC canceled it after 49 episodes total. The Outer Limits disappeared for decades. Episodes vanished from circulation. Syndication was minimal. An entire generation grew up never seeing it. Then, the 1990s revival introduced the concept to new audiences. Suddenly, people went searching for the original series. The Twilight Zone, 1959 to 1964. Rod Serling created the most influential anthology series in television history. CBS gave him 5 seasons. Then they canceled him while the show was still creatively strong. And the Twilight Zone became immortal through syndication. 156 episodes exploring human nature through science fiction, fantasy, and horror. Serling wrote or adapted most episodes himself, using the anthology format to comment on racism, war, conformity, and nuclear anxiety. CBS kept canceling it and bringing it back because executives never understood its value. Season 4 was a disaster. CBS forced hour-long episodes. The format didn't work. Quality dropped. CBS brought it back for Season 5 at the original half-hour length. Serling was exhausted from constant battles with sponsors and network censors. After 5 seasons, he was done. The Twilight Zone ended in 1964. Serling moved on to other projects. The show seemed finished. Then, syndication turned it into the most repeated series in television history. New generations discovered it constantly. The twist endings became legendary. The opening narration became iconic. Which 60s show do you wish had survived? Which one deserved more seasons before networks pulled the plug? Drop your answer in the comments below. Hit subscribe for more forgotten television history and shows that deserved better. And smash that like button if you grew up watching these in syndication and can still hear those theme songs in your head. Thanks for watching.